offensive coordinator or the head coach is. I think the head coach is still Arthur Smith, but because they have so charged up pod. Um, Tonight we're gonna focus on the NFL season. We're gonna go through the power rankings. We're gonna go through league leaders, what's happened so far. We're gonna go through some surprise guys that may have surprised people. And we'll go through some guys that have expected to star, and we're gonna go through some guys that have disappointed a lot of us. And as football fans, we always have guys and teams who disappoint us. So without further ado, we're gonna start with this power rankings. CBS has the ranking. This is CBS rankings also. I'm gonna give my own little twist to it, so let's get into it. At number 32, we got the Carolina Panthers at the worst team in the league so far. Bryce Young, first few games, he missed one game. He's gotten better every week. The more protection they have upon him, every week that progresses, he's making sharp throws. He started out taking a little bit more time than he used to. You know, he had to adjust to the speed of the NFL, I'm suggesting. And he's gotten better every week. You know, please, y'all, do not compare this man to C.J. Stroud. He is not C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud has a totally different team. C.J. Stroud actually has weapons around him. Carolina traded away everything, you know, to get Bryce. You know, they gave away the DJ Moore guy. They gave away DJ Moore guy. But they gave away DJ Moore. They gave away first-round pick last season. They gave around a first-round pick this season, which if they're the worst team, that's going to be the number one pick Chicago got. So Carolina hasn't surrounded Bryce Young with any talent. So I'm not going to even judge Carolina on doing anything so far this year. This is their year to just thug it out. This is Bryce's year to learn the NFL. He is expected to let him just be a rookie in peace, you know. Moving on, 31, we got the New York Giants. Pass. Number 30, we got the Denver Broncos. Also pass. We got the Washington Commanders at 29. So the thing about Washington finally has they might have their quarterback for their franchise. Sam Howell is really impressive. My thing with the Washington Commanders is they need to get some protection around Sam Howell, because this man has been sacked a league high 29 times in 5 games. He keeps going at this rate, he's gonna break the record. You can't take 29 sacks in 5 games, but he has had some impressive games that come back against the Philadelphia Eagles. I actually watched that game. That was a pretty good game. I liked it. That Buffalo Bills game was a disappointment, of course. You know, they couldn't get it. They couldn't get on the board as far as offensive touchdowns. The last game they just had, Washington is not bad. They're not a terrible team. So I think the 29 ranking is actually kind of unfair for them. You know, but I get it, their record and everything. But the team that's actually 28 is where I think the Commanders should be ahead of them, the New England Patriots. So the thing with the New England is, ever since the Tom Brady era, Bill Belichick has turned out to try to still be acting as if Tom Brady's there, meaning putting no talent around the offense whatsoever. Ezekiel Elliott was a good sign for that team, but Ezekiel Elliott has to have talent around him to perform, especially at this stage of his career. Mac Jones, people keep blaming Mac Jones. Mac Jones is not their problem. He is not their problem. Mac Jones, I believe Mac Jones is actually he can be a franchise quarterback for that team if you give him the freaking talent. Put some guys around him. You know, I heard somebody say, put Mac Jones on the San Francisco 49ers. He'll be doing the same thing Brock Purdy's doing. I do agree that, although I got an even better one for you. Put Mac Jones in Miami with that offense and see what he'll do with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Devin A. Chain and Raheem Mostert and all these guys. That team is stacked, so Patriots have nothing. Why y'all think Tom Brady left in the first place? They didn't have any talent. I remember this. They didn't have any talent. They weren't trying to make any changes. They didn't have any money to spend. Tom Brady said, I'm out. I don't want to be around this. Y'all not putting any talent around me. Let's think about the top receiver that New England has had in the past 15 years. It's 2023, so past 15 years. Yes, the Hall of Famer Randy Moss was their top receiver. Julian Edelman, he's a good receiver, but he's not a true number one receiver. Tom Brady was so great he made it work. Gronk was there also. So when you come to talking about talent on that New England team, you can't blame Mac Jones for them failing right now. That's not Mac Jones' fault. You know, he's doing the best he can. And the thing is, I hate that Bill Belichick is benching this man every game. Let him learn. Let him learn. You know, you ain't got nobody else better to put in that right there. What do you think that's doing to his psyche right now as a quarterback, as a young quarterback that's getting benched every week? I think this is like the fourth time he got a bench in 2 weeks. In 2 years. So, like, that offense sucks. Like, putting another quarterback in is not going to change that right now. You know, they have to put talent around. It's kind of like the Carolina Panthers. You have to put talent around your quarterback. You know, Kevin Bourne is not the guy. Juju Smith-Schuster is definitely not the guy. Mike Gesicki, not the guy. Hunter Henry, not the guy. Put some real talent around this man, Mac Jones. Then you can evaluate him as a quarterback altogether. I do like the Patriots' defense as far as how Matt Judon. I hate that he got injured. Christian Gonzalez was showing so much promising as a young cornerback. I believe he's going to have a great career, especially with the New England system. They just got J.C. Jackson back from the Chargers. I'm glad that they got J.C. Jackson back off my Chargers. But yeah, they got to separate Bill Belichick, the GM, from Bill Belichick, the coach, and they got to relieve him of those duties because he can't be the GM anymore. I believe he's stuck in his old ways, and that talent you're not going to find anymore nowadays. The offense is stagnant. They're not pushing them forward. They're not pushing the ball. They're not making big plays. It's a shit show, you know. So New England needs to change that up and do not blame Mac Jones. Mac Jones can actually be your guy. Don't do anything stupid here. Next, the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears started out looking like one of the worst teams in the league. They were having no motion whatsoever. And I was wondering, why was they not implementing DJ Moore into their offense until these last 2 weeks? I don't know what was going on at the beginning of the season for Chicago, but having DJ Moore implemented into the offense like the way it is now is how they should have started the season out. You know, not making any big plays, not running the ball well. Justin Fields, they was making Justin Fields look like he was a terrible quarterback, you know. Now they're unleashing him in the offense and letting him do whatever. And now you see the results. The Chicago Bears have won, not won a lot of games, but they are performing. Their offense is performing. They have life now. So I'm wanting to see what Chicago gonna do. I believe that Chicago can avoid being last place in that division. I believe the last place will definitely be the Vikings. So I'm going to continue to see, especially with Justin Jefferson being listed to injured reserve with the injury. I believe the Vikings are giving up on that team. So we're going to talk about the Vikings some, though. Next on the list at 26 is the Cardinals. I honestly thought the Cardinals were going to be the worst team in the league. They still had the potential to be, but I thought the Cardinals was going to be like historically bad, like, you know, the Detroit Lions when they went on 16 or 1-15. I didn't know it was 16, but I thought that was going to be one of those type of teams, the Cardinals, especially with Kyler Murray out. But Josh Dobbs has been showing that he belongs in this league. He's been in the league for a while now. I actually like him at Tennessee. I want to continue to see him grow as a quarterback. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a starter, you know, next year or something, but you know, it's fun to see guys get opportunity. He's proving himself right now. But I actually did think that the Cardinals would be the worst team in the league. Arizona was not expected to win any games for me, like especially beating Dallas. Whew. Next at 25 would be the Las Vegas Raiders. So the Raiders defense, Max Crosby needs to get out of there. I don't know what Vegas is doing. I understand that Jimmy Garoppolo did miss a game. I don't know how that team is actually going to show out the rest of the season, especially in that division, the AFC West, where they had to face the Chargers again. They had to face the the Chiefs twice, and they had to face the Broncos. I think the Broncos will be walking park. I think they actually play the Broncos in Week 6, so this will be a, you know, a fight for the last place in that game. But the Raiders, they doing exactly what I expected them to do. I don't see playoffs in their future this season. At 24, you got the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins is doing his thing. He will probably be on another team by the end of the season or next season for sure. I think the Vikings are trying to tank because letting Dalvin Cook go over last year, not having a running back like as far as that guy that you can rely upon, passing the ball to Justin Jefferson 80 times every game is not going to cut it. Kirk Cousins is the middle tier quarterback, and he could definitely end up on a team that could use a quarterback. Maybe I could see Kirk Cousins going to a team like maybe I'll say the Raiders. You know, they can use Kirk. I think they signed Jimmy G to a 1-year deal, so I can see Kirk Cousins being with the Raiders next season. I could see Kirk Cousins going to the Giants maybe. You know, I don't know how they're gonna do with this Daniel Jones thing. You know, I don't know if Daniel Jones' contract was guaranteed after the first year. I might have checked that, fact check me. But I could see Kirk Cousins going somewhere else definitely soon. I don't know where right now. I can't put my finger on who absolutely needs a quarterback right now, outside of maybe the Titans. Ryan Tannehill has been they're winning though, so I can't really write Tannehill off. That's funny. But Kirk Cousins with the Steelers maybe, but they're trusting Kenny Pickett. He's getting them wins. They're 3-2, but to move on from the Vikings, the Jets. Yeah, I understand that Aaron Rodgers is out. It was so much hype coming around the Jets. This is This could be one of the historic defenses they ever play. This offense is going to be unguardable. Aaron Rodgers is all they needed. But instead, you got Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson has been done dirty by everybody. Like, I hate to see it. I don't think I ever seen a young quarterback get talked about this bad ever. And he's just, he's going out there trying to do his thing. So I'm going to move on from the Jets right now because they lost their quarterback for the season. But that defense is still not showing all-time great defense so far. They're at 23. At 22, we got the Green Bay Packers. Who would have thought the Packers would be better than the Jets? Jordan Love is really impressive. He's impressed me as a young quarterback. I actually knew this was going to happen, though. You don't sit behind somebody for 3-4 years and not learn this much from them and be in a position to when you finally get your chance, opportunities like this don't come across really fast. So don't come across this often. So with Jordan Love, he is actually performing his tail off. They actually lost last night to the Raiders, and I watched a little bit of that game. It's the freaking Raiders. Nobody want to watch the Raiders. But Green Bay they're in the middle of the pack where I thought they would be at. I could see them finishing third in their division. I think Chicago will still pass Green Bay as the season goes on. Chicago will get better, and I believe Green Bay will get worse. At 21, we got the Tennessee Titans. Why didn't the Tennessee Titans trade Derrick Henry when they had the chance? They were talking about it. They even had him on the trade block before they signed DeAndre Hopkins. Why did DeAndre Hopkins want to go to Tennessee? And I understand you wanted to get paid, but it's so many other teams that you could have went to, and you would probably be in the hunt right now. Kansas, if you would have got Kansas City would have got him. I don't know if they could afford it or not, but if they would have got you for some chance, they would have got DeAndre Hopkins or got him on a pay cut. Automatic championship. I'm glad you didn't go there. Thank you, my boy. But DeAndre Hopkins and that Derrick Henry, I thought that pairing would be more dominant. Like I said, it's only week 5, so maybe that team will continue to get better, and we'll see how Um, that tandem goes with Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins, and Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is Ryan Tannehill. So I did say that by week 9, Will Levis will be the starter. I do believe by week 9, Will Levis will be the starter of that team. Ryan Tannehill he's just not it, especially if you're trying to make leaps. He's a good quarterback, but he's not going to make he's not a difference making quarterback. That makes sense. So the Tennessee, I still think they will be in a hunt to win that division. I don't know if the Jaguars will just walk in the park of that division. So we will see what Tennessee continue to do. And at 20 is another division mate of the Tennessee Titans is the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud is on a historic pace right now for a rookie. I believe he has over 1,200 passing yards and 7 touchdowns and no picks throughout his first 5 games. He's the only quarterback to ever do that with no picks. And they are actually winning games. So I like the way they giving him the keys to the offense early. They're trusting him to go make plays, and he's doing it. He has the ultimate confidence behind the team, and that's the way you groom a young quarterback. Carolina and the Commanders and New England, they need to learn from Houston. You get the young quarterback in, you get the pieces around a young quarterback to perform. Even if you don't have the greatest offensive line, get the young playmakers around him that can make plays to grow, to evolve with him. Houston definitely got it right with C.J. Stroud. I believe that their offense will slow down just a little bit, but I believe they will still be in the hunt for the playoffs. I don't know if they'll make it, but I think they'll be in the hunt come the end of the season. I'll say hovering around 500. The 7 or the 6 seed maybe. Moving on to the number 19 team, the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson is really impressive, but dude does not know how to not take hits. I know you're like 6'4", 6'5", 240, 250. You're a big quarterback, but you're taking too many unnecessary hits, man. Learn to slide. And I was hating when they was comparing Anthony Richardson to Cam Newton when he did the combine. But actually seeing him play, I actually see a lot of Cam Newton because Cam Newton could not slide to save his life. That's probably why he's out the league now with all these injuries and things. But Anthony Richardson needs to learn how to slide and continue to just be safe with the football. Get on the ground. I so many times. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, y'all, so don't quote me on this. I've seen Tom Brady jump to that ground so many times before a defender can even hit him. And he played, 22, 23 years? So Anthony Richardson, learn how to go to that ground, And he just hurts himself with the AC joint. Learn how to hit that ground. At number 18, we got the Los Angeles Rams. Rams actually surprised me a little bit. Kind of, but not really. They surprised me because I actually expected them to not be competitive whatsoever. Matt Stafford is back. Aaron Donald is quiet as I don't know where. I haven't heard Aaron Donald's name all season. I haven't seen film on him. I haven't seen a sack on him, anything. It's through the first 5 weeks. I haven't heard Aaron Donald's name. Or that defense, period. But the young receiver they have, Puka Nacua, he is great. He's going to turn out to be a great rookie. He might be in that Rookie of the Year conversation. He might even be in the Offensive Player of the Year conversation in the entire league because through 5 weeks, he is leading the league in receptions. I think he has 43 catches. He has 570-something yards, and he has 2 touchdowns. He's in the top 3 in the league in both catches and yardage, top 2. So Puka Nacua is actually impressive as a young receiver, but his numbers may go down a little bit because Cooper Kupp just return this past week, and Cooper came back with 8 catches to start his return, and Cooper, he actually looked well out there. So Puka is going to have to split the shares with Cooper Cup, which is understandable. But Matthew Stafford is definitely putting them guys in the hunt again. Like I said, I did not expect the Rams to do anything this season. They definitely need to get their running game right so they can have a more balanced offense. I've been saying this since they won the Super Bowl. Even when they won the Super Bowl, they did not have a run game. Get their running game implemented so guys can, you can balance things. That's why you got the receivers like Puka Nakula and Cooper Cup getting 10, 20 catches every 2 weeks because they ain't got no choice but to pass the ball. Matthew Stafford, I've never seen a quarterback pass the ball as much as Matthew Stafford does. Like, Matthew Stafford's probably going to go down as the most attempts and completions in his career when it's all said and done. Well, maybe not because of the injuries, but you get what I'm saying. The dude passes the ball a lot. Moving on from the Rams, at number 17, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 weeks ago, Pittsburgh Steelers looked dead. The Steelers did not look like they were going to do anything. They didn't look competitive. They did not look enthusiastic about anything on offense. That defense has been holding them into games, but that offense with Kenny Pickett and what's up with Najee Harris? Like, the dude he went from one of the top running backs in the league few years back to dude can't even get 50 yards in the game rushing. Like, I don't know if it's a scheme thing. I think, and I've heard a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans complaining about Matt Canada. He needs to be out of there. He should have been out of there. The way that offense is set up and the way things are being done, Matt Canada should have been out of there. And I heard that Mike Tomlin is the one that's protecting Matt Canada. So we're going to see. That's going to be interesting to see in the next couple of weeks to see how that's going to show out with the Pittsburgh moving forward. They have moved up 5 spots from last week. They are 3-2. They did beat Baltimore, but the kicker, I don't know who the kicker is for Pittsburgh, but you lost me some money, boy. I didn't mean to call you a boy, but you lost me some money, man. I had you for 2 extra points. You couldn't even do that. But, because y'all didn't score a touchdown. But moving on from Pittsburgh, well, I'm not going to move from Pittsburgh yet. That team in that division, one thing I'll never do is count out Mike Tomlin. Any team that's coached by Mike Tomlin, he's going to have them in the hunt. So that division is really competitive, and I would still put Pittsburgh in the playoffs this year, hovering around. I'll probably say Pittsburgh probably end up about 10-7. That's my record for them. But moving on from Pittsburgh, you got the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons did this last year. They started off really hot. There was a team that was, making some plays. It's a young team. I think their only thing with Atlanta is they're really young. I don't know who their offensive coordinator or their head coach is. I think the head coach is still Arthur Smith. But they're not making the explosive plays with their tight end, Pitts. You took him high. You took him 8th overall in the draft, and you're not making the plays necessary to implement him into the offense. And him with Bijan Robinson, oh my gosh. Desmond Ridder I like Desmond Ridder. I don't know if he's the guy for that franchise going forward, but I believe right now he is the guy for them right now. So I believe Atlanta, they'll do like they did last year. They started off high. I think they'll slow down soon. That division is still ran. I think the Buccaneers got that wrapped up. So we'll get your Bucs soon, though. That's the number 16 team is the Falcons. At 15, we got the Saints. So David Carr should still be in Oakland. I think Derek Carr, I'm thinking about his brother. But Derek Carr is one of those guys that he got to be the scapegoat, no matter how impressive he is. Like, Derek Carr always performs well. Like, I've seen Derek Carr in high stress level positions, especially playing with the Raiders for so long, where they had no defense whatsoever. I think I seen something recently. It was like Derek Carr's tenure as a Raider. their defense was in the bottom third every single year. And he had to literally will them to wins because their defense was so bad. So when you got a team like that that doesn't do anything on the defensive side, but your quarterback's performing like that, but you get rid of the quarterback because y'all couldn't get wins, that doesn't correlate to me. Like why would you do that? You know, Derek Carr has done some things with the Raiders. I believe he's going to do some things with the Saints also. So your loss, Raiders. And I think with them, that receiver core he has over there in New Orleans and that defense with Cameron Jordan still being one of the top dogs in the league. Cameron Jordan is a dog. I love Cam Jordan. I would love to get him on my team. I don't think he'll ever leave New Orleans though. The gumbo too good. Marshawn Lattimore has been performing well. Tyrann Mathieu just got a pick 6. Like that defense is something serious. I believe it's gonna be a two-team race in that division in the NFC South between the Saints and the Buccaneers. I believe the Bucs will pull it off because they're the more complete team. They have been together longer. The only thing that switched is the quarterback position. And Baker Mayfield I like Baker because he has a chip on his shoulder. He's always trying to prove something. But like I said, we'll get to the Bucs soon. At number 14, well, not soon now. At 14, we got the Bucs. Like I said, Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that, in the right system, he's going to look like an all-pro player. And with that system, I believe that he will prosper, especially with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and they have talent on that team. You know, Antoine Winfield Jr., you know, they still had Rashad White, the running back. They still got playmakers on that team. So Baker Mayfield is in a great position. And this is why I say they will win that division, because if they don't, the coach, Ty Bowles, he's out of there. He's going to be out of there if they don't make the playoffs this season. And I can see that team moving on from Ty Bowles if the Bucs don't make the playoffs. But I do see Baker Mayfield continue to improve with that team as chemistry gets along, and I believe that team will continue to get better, and they will win that division. The Bengals, I would actually have the Bucs above the Bengals. So, yes, Joe Burrow is he's a good quarterback. My thing is, when they call out the top rankings for quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, I believe everything is just given to him, you know. Yes, he's been to the Super Bowl. Yes, he has made some great plays under pressure. But I believe we're seeing the real Joe Burrow right now. Like, that team has been forcing it. You know, you ever seen a team that's try to force things, and they're doing that with Joe Burrow right now. And I believe that they do start off hot. They do start off cold and then get hot towards the end of the season. So I'm not going to say anything on them right now. But I do believe that if Lamar Jackson stays healthy, and then Mike Tomlin has his team rallying the way he does, I believe the Bengals will miss the playoffs, because people forget Lamar Jackson. When Lamar Jackson got hurt last year, the Ravens was 7-3 and they led that division. You know, I think it was 7-3. Might have been 9-1. No, they're 7-3. Yeah, they were 7-3, and they were number one in that division when Lamar went down. And then when he went down, we saw what happened. They fell off. So I believe the Bengals will be around the middle of the pack. You know, I would say between 17 to 13 range in the league towards the end of the season. They will win some games here and there, and then you can hear their name. But I believe that is not a well-built team, honestly speaking. The Cincinnati Bengals is not a well-built team. It's been long enough. Y'all should have got this man some protection. Next is the Baltimore Ravens. So at 12, Baltimore Ravens, I believe Baltimore should be higher than this, but I understand why they're at 12, because they just lost to Pittsburgh. And people blaming that loss on Lamar Jackson, but they had 10 drops in that game. 10 drops. And Lamar as a quarterback, I think he only had 6 off-target throws. If those guys would have caught the ball, he would have had 6 incompletions. He did throw a pick. One of those was tipped, I believe, and it was in the red zone too. In the past few years, Lamar Jackson's red zone decisions have been pretty puzzling, but I got the Baltimore Ravens winning that division because you got Lamar Jackson. I saw it the other day before the game. He had like 700 something passing yards and like 400 rushing yards. Not 400, but 250 rushing yards. Like that's as the quarterback in the first 4 weeks you had that. Like come on. But he's always done that. If he's healthy, they have a chance. He's a winner. He's a pure winner. So you don't pass on or underestimate true winners. Lamar Jackson is a true winner. Next at number 11 is my team, the Los Angeles Chargers. Man, Brandon Staley, this is for you, sir. Can you stop going for it on 4th down on our own 20, please? Just punt. Trust your defense. You have Khalil Mack, who just had 6 sacks in the game, and you have Joey Bosa. He's not quite Nick Bosa, but he's a Bosa. So put your defense in position. You're a defensive coach. Put your defense in position to not suck. Chargers have been pissing me off because I don't want us to wait Justin Herbert's prime. He's not even in his prime yet, and we're wasting his youth years. Like, I know we just gave him a big contract, but I want to see speed on that offense. I want to see speed on that offense. I love Keenan Allen. I'm not really a fan of Mike Williams. They need to put Quentin Johnston in position to actually make plays as a rookie. I don't know if they implemented him into the offense all the way, but they should have been done there. The season has started. Austin Eckler is hurt every single year, him and Keenan. They miss games. They miss too many games. And the way Justin Herbert plays without talent is amazing. That's why I put Justin Herbert as the second best quarterback in the league. I know I'm being biased. It's a tad biased, but let me explain why I'm putting him at number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes. For Patrick Mahomes' first couple of years as a starter, he had Tyreek Hill, which is arguably the fastest player in the league on his offense. And he has Travis Kelce, who was arguably one of the greatest tight ends ever. It's not even arguably. He's one of the greatest tight ends ever. So when you have those 2 guys on your offense, you're going to make plays. Justin Herbert doesn't have a Travis Kelce or a Tyreek Hill. You give the Chargers and Justin Herbert a tight end right now. And that's why I wish we could have got T.J. Hockenson last season because I didn't even know he was available. So if we could have got T.J. Hockenson last season, oh my gosh. But Justin Herbert needs a tight end. He needs that guy he can rely upon. He needs his Gronk. He needs his Antonio Gates. He needs his Tony Gonzalez. He needs his tight end. I don't know who that guy is going to be, but we need that. Justin Herbert needs that. He doesn't have it yet. So imagine what Justin Herbert would look like if he actually had that. A reliable target at any given time. Right now it's Austin Eckler, and your running back is not supposed to have 100 catches in the season and not run 1,000 yards. He hasn't ran 1,000 yards. We haven't ran 1,000 yards we haven't had a player run 1,000 yards since LaDainian Tomlinson did it in 2011, 2010. It's 2023. The Chargers haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher in over a decade. That's embarrassing. Moving on from the Chargers. And my heart racing a little bit. But moving on from the Chargers. Got the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson is getting his groove back slowly, but that defense is nasty. Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett, and they got Denzel Ward in the back there. That defense is nasty. That's one of the defense I would want to avoid playing right now because Myles Garrett is people talking about Aiden Hutchinson and Nick Bosa, but Myles Garrett is that guy. You know, Myles Garrett is he's been hovering around the top three edge rushers in the league. You know, with the Aaron Donalds and the names, and you know, uh, I want to see how the Cleveland Browns shows out. Oh, back to the Chargers stuff. I do think we'll be this week. We're going to beat Dallas Monday night, and then we're going to beat the Chiefs the first game, and that'll put us at the top of our division if we beat Kansas City. But moving on from the Chargers back to the Browns, I believe the Browns. Yes, right now they got there at the top of their division, but I believe the Browns will fall down because, like I said, Lamar Jackson's healthy. He's a winner. He's going to win that division. He's going to will the Ravens to that division lead. And, you know, Odell will come back. You know, their offense will get back rolling. I just hate that running back J.K. Dobbins got hurt so early. But I believe the Browns will continue to get better also. But that Nick Chubb blow, that was a tough blow. That's going to affect them later on in the season. So moving on from the Browns, at number 9, we got the Cowboys. 42-10. 42-10. 42-10. 42-10. The Cowboys play the Chargers Monday. Chargers are coming off a bye week. The Cowboys are coming off a 32-point loss. The Chargers have had 2 weeks to prepare for Dallas. The Cowboys have lost faith in Dak. The Chargers, we embrace our quarterback. You see where I'm going there? So Monday night, expect the Dallas to lose to the Chargers. So y'all can talk about Dak even more. But the Cowboys at number 9, though, I get it. Dak does turn the ball over a lot. But I'm not going to put this all on Dak. That defense has turned into one of the worst passing defenses in the league since Trayvon Diggs got hurt, which is granted. You know, he's one of the top guys. Michael Parsons is doing all he can. They putting him in the worst positions of lining him up here, throwing him over there. Like, he can do it, but it's like, dude, pick a spot. You know, where is he the most effective and keep him there? But one guy I want to focus on that Cowboys team, CeeDee Lamb. I seen videos going around of him getting irritated that he's not getting the ball and Dak, not throwing it to him. See, I don't think CeeDee Lamb is that guy. CeeDee Lamb is not that guy. Like, when I say that guy, I mean you line him up against any corner in the league, he's going to make a play. If you line him up against any corner in the league 10 times, he's going to make a play at least 6 of those times. CeeDee Lamb doesn't have that ability. I'm not saying it. CeeDee Lamb is not that guy to where you trust, like, to him to go make a play. They gave up that guy, Amari Cooper. And you see what Amari Cooper is doing in Cleveland. So CeeDee Lamb is not that guy. He can be, but right now he's not that guy for that team. Especially with Dak, that he has to rely upon CeeDee Lamb, and he hasn't been it, you know. Tony Pollard is still getting his groove back. But that Dallas team, they have problems at number 9. So moving on from Dallas, we got Dallas, they're not winning that division. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas missed the playoffs, because I believe the Commanders will come up, and the Eagles are not letting go of that first spot. So if I had to choose between the Commanders and the Cowboys, I'm choosing the Commanders right now. So Jacksonville Jaguars at number 8. Well, you mean the London Jaguars? So Jaguars, that's who put us out last season. They put us out of the playoffs. They put the Chargers out of the playoffs. Back to the Chargers. Mr. Staley, how do we start out 27-0? 4 takeaways. Score 3 points the rest of the game. without making any turnovers. We didn't give the ball up, and we lose. That's what Jacksonville did without Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley is showing him and Zay Jones and Marvin Jones and Evan Ingram. That offense is fun to watch. I like to watch the Jaguars play, especially Travis Etienne. Like Travis Etienne is he is what he's advertised to be when he was in college. Like I like Travis Etienne. I like what he brings to the table for that team. I believe that he and Trevor Lawrence will put them over the top with that division. I think them, and at the end of the season, it's going to be the Jaguars and the Titans fighting for that top spot. If only if the Titans get that chemistry right between Tannehill, Henry, and Hopkins. Like I think the Jaguars will end up winning that division though. And that division is actually pretty fun to watch with the Colts and the Jaguars and the Texans. So I do believe it's going to come down to the last 2 weeks for that division, though. But I believe the Jaguars are pretty good. They deserve to be in that 8th spot. Number 7, we got the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, I was saying this last year, Detroit was really young last season. They have problems with the depleted guys on defense right now, injuries. I do like Aiden Hutchinson. I've been saying that Jared Goff is not a bad quarterback. I've been saying this for years. Jared Goff is not a bad quarterback. He's like a Baker Mayfield where you put him in the right system, he can perform. That's what I believe with Mac Jones also. Mac Jones and Jared Goff are similar to me. Only difference is Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. So if you put the Lions up to, not even the Lions, just put Jared Goff and Mac Jones up beside each other. They are really similar. You need to put a system around this quarterback, build around this guy. Detroit has done a great job of that. Aiden Hutchinson on their defense. Their defense is something to be reckoned with. They play reckless. I like it. They actually resemble the city of Detroit. The offense with Amon-Ra St. Brown, like he's a great receiver. You got the guys making plays. I did question the Jamal Williams release over the summer when they didn't get him back, but now I'm seeing David Montgomery perform. Like he wasn't showing this in Chicago, so I do like that they have. Detroit is rolling right now. I believe Jared Goff will put them over the top. And what's the tight end name? Sam Laporta, I think is his name. Sam Laporta. He is like 3rd all time right now in the first 5 games for tight ends for most catches. He has like 26 catches in his first 5 games as a tight end. So that's pretty impressive. Now I see why they let go T.J. Hockenson. But the Detroit deserved to be at that 7th spot. I don't know. I would say they are going to be the team that win their division. I believe it's going to come down to them, and I don't think it's going to be a close race in that division. I think Detroit will win it outright. But I do believe, hear me out, I do believe the Bears will get hot. And we'll see how hot they'll get. But Detroit is definitely taking that division, the NFC North, forgive me. At number 7, they deserve to be there. But at number 6, you got the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks they're doing what they were doing last season. Geno Smith has proven that he's that guy. He's proven to be a starter in this league. He got his money. I did question if he got his money, how good he would still perform. You got your boy, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett have been kind of quiet so far this season. They drafted Jackson Smith and Jake, but I haven't heard much about them this season. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention to Seattle. I've been paying attention to their old quarterback and Russell Wilson more than Seattle, but that's another story. But that Seattle team, I believe they will fall flat and miss the playoffs this year because I think the Rams will, not even just the Rams, but San Francisco got their division on lock. That's San Francisco's. I think I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco went undefeated this year. Like 3 losses is all I'm giving San Francisco this year, but we will get to San Francisco. But Seattle is, I don't know if I could put Seattle number 2. I don't know if I would. I think I'll put the Rams number 2 over Seattle. Only because when it comes out to strictly quarterback play, I'm gonna take Matthew Stafford over Geno Smith, and that's what I see happening with that division. At number 5, we got the Miami Dolphins. So Miami Dolphins beat us week 1, the last second, and thank you, Brandon Staley. They beat us 34-36 in week 1. And I just know that Miami's offense is really fun to watch. I believe Tua, and Tua was doing this last year before he got the concussion. I said that he was going to win MVP last year before he got hurt. He's actually looking like that right now. And that offense is fun to watch. It's the fastest offense in NFL history. It's the most creative offense this season so far. Mike McDaniels is a good coach. He's a great young coach, innovative. They got teams copying his style already. Yeah, so that's all I got Miami at 5. I do believe that I need to be higher than that. I think they're a better team than this next team by naming number 4. Number 4, we got the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills is hot again, cold again type of team. Like Josh Allen, he is special talent. I also believe that he is suffering from being so talented that the team don't want to invest around him as far as talent. Outside of Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, they haven't given this man a 1,000-yard rushing running back yet. I knew for a fact they was about to get Dalvin Cook to go play with his brother James Cook. I thought it was about to be the great, backfield. But they haven't gave him a guy to run, be his backfield mate. And it's not fair to Josh Allen, It's kind of like the same thing with Justin Herbert, where they haven't given him talent around him that can really suit him. So Josh Allen is taking a lot of unnecessary hits. He's turning the ball over. He's always turning the ball over. And they will lose. That's an explosive offense, but then their offense will look stagnant a lot of times because if Josh Allen is cold, they're really cold. When they're hot, they're really hot. So I believe Miami is a better team than them overall, and it will show itself soon. Even though they did blow Miami out, it's just matchups. That's not a good matchup for them. But at number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs are number 3, the defending champs. The team that I had to play, my team has to play. The Chargers had to play them twice a year. And I do believe that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. I don't think at this point that's is that even questionable? I think that's cemented. But he's not that far ahead of Justin Herbert though. Let's get that twisted. Don't get that twisted. Travis Kelce is showing his age. He's getting a little bit up there in age. He's battling injuries, but he's still very, very talented. I do like Pacheco. Pacheco is a dominant runner for his size. Like he runs bigger than what he is. I like the way he runs the ball. That offense without Travis Kelce on the field looks like a varsity football team. Like they can't make plays. Kadarius Toney was supposed to be that guy that come in and be, the guy for them. Every guy they had, Valdez-Scantling and Juju, like they let these guys go. So I'm looking at this Chiefs team. Like, can they repeat? It's really hard to repeat in the NFL, and I don't see them repeating. But only thing I will give them, as long as you got 15 over there and Patrick Mahomes, and you got Andy Reid over there, and 87 Kelsey suiting up and Chris Jones on that defense, you got a chance. So that's the number 3 team on that list. At number 2, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, might as well go number 1, 2, because I done told you the rest of the list. Number 2 and number 1 is the Eagles at 2, 49ers at 1. The last 2 undefeated teams. I believe that the Super Bowl will go through the NFC this year. I believe the NFC will win it. I quite don't think it'll be the Eagles, though. I believe it'll be more so the 49ers. But the Eagles, let me get on the Eagles right quick. The Eagles team, for a team to have this much turnover, I think they replaced, 7 starters on defense? The Philadelphia Bulldogs, or the Georgia Eagles, what you want to call them. But Jalen Hurts, I've always been a big fan of Jalen Hurts since college. I knew he was going to be special in the league. I want to continue to see what he can do with this team. This is a special team. This is a special quarterback. A.J. Brown is showing out. Devontae Smith is showing out. Oh my gosh, DeAndre Swift, the running back, he's dominant. Like, I like him. He's perfect for that team. But that defense has grit, and I like it. Seeing how they're performing I'm not surprised that they're undefeated throughout these 5 weeks, but it's like, I did expect to see a type of difference, as far as them struggling because they had so much turnover. That's the number 2 team with Philly. But number 1, 49ers are good on all levels. They're great at special teams. They're great on defense. They're great on running back with Christian McCaffrey. They're great at the receiving position with Dyon Samuels and Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk has came up so far as his talent, and he's actually developed and performing to the way he's supposed to be right now. He is that number 1 guy on the other side of Debo. George Kittle, I wish the Chargers can get George Kittle. Please, Lord. But I wish we can get George Kittle on that team with Justin Herbert, because George Kittle needs to show why he's the best tight end in the league. I think he's a better overall tight end than Travis Kelce because he can block and receive. But Brock Purdy he's showing his ass. Brock Purdy is definitely every team definitely fumbled Brock Purdy 7 times in the draft. Let him be in Mr. Irrelevant. He should definitely trademark that and turn that into something. He should brand that Mr. Irrelevant Purdy. I'm pretty irrelevant. That's a trademark. Yeah, I want my royalties. I'm pretty irrelevant. Purdy irrelevant. I'm serious. You call me, my people will call you. But Purdy irrelevant he's show stopping. Like, when I said Tua is like an MVP candidate right now, Purdy is also. And also his teammate Christian McCaffrey is. I don't know what it is with the NFL. I was just having a conversation with someone the other day. Why does the NFL not respect the running back position anymore? You don't want to pay the guys, which is cool. Pay them give them shorter terms, pay them more per year, get them shorter contracts, and fully guarantee the contract for 1 or 2 years. Christian McCaffrey. You can't win a Super Bowl without a running back like Christian McCaffrey. If you got a defense like the 49ers have and you have a running back like Christian McCaffrey is, you can win that as a Super Bowl winner right now. If everyone continues to stay healthy, nobody's beating that San Francisco team. Honestly, I think they would have won it last year. This should be back-to-back for them. Just the way they've been beating teams and how physical this team is, like, this is a great team. Like, I'm talking week 12, we might see San Francisco probably with 1 loss. They'd probably be 10-1 at the time. So I can see San Francisco winning it all this year. I believe that is the best complete team in the league. I'm calling it now. Super Bowl would be the 49ers coming out the NFC. And the Chargers going to issue. Now I'm playing. I'm not going to be biased. That's my boys. That'll be a great Super Bowl. The matter of fact, the year I was born. It was the Chargers and 49ers in the Super Bowl. Fun fact. Um, but I believe that in AFC, it'll probably be the Chiefs again. I can see Chiefs and 49ers in the Super Bowl, and I see 49ers winning it. I think but I would love to see who I would like to see. If it wasn't in my Chargers, then I would like to see the Dolphins. I would like to see a Dolphins 49ers Super Bowl. It'll kind of be like a few years back with the number one defense, number one offense with the 49ers, not the 49ers, but the Seahawks and the Broncos. It's not going to be a blowout like that because Tua and Peyton, like they have two totally different offenses. Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace, he's not Tyreek Hill. But I do see Miami being back in it this season. And I do see 49ers winning it all. So 49ers, Dolphins, Super Bowl is what I want to see, but I think would be the Chiefs, 49ers, and Super Bowl. But either one would be a showdown. I would love to see. But I think the 49ers are going to win it all because neither the Dolphins nor the Chiefs, I believe they can't beat that 49ers team. This is a great team. But